Welcome to Force for Growth Live. I'm Ricardo.
I'm Courtney. Good morning. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday.
And you know what we do on Wednesday? It's hump day. So, welcome to how we do hump day. It is hashtag hump over your hurdle. So, whatever your biggest struggle is, whatever you're putting off, whatever is overwhelming you right now, just get it done. Just do what you can do to move it as far further as you can. And that'll make everything else on your list easier. So, hump over your hurdle. It's hump day. Yay.
Ooh, dang, I just bumped all over the place over here. Yes, hashtag hump over your hurdle, not bump
Yes.
over your hurdle.
But bump things
Hashtag
out of the way. If things are in your
hump
way,
over
bump
your
them
hurdle.
out. There you go.
Let's go. What are we talking about today, Courtney Carr?
We are talking about one of my favorite philosophies for sales and life, but point, aim, shoot, and shoot
Point,
straight.
aim, shoot.
Yes.
So talk about it on the sales part, and I'm going to talk about it on another side of the house. But you
Okay. So
go first. Explain the
sales.
sales part.
I have been in sales, well, since I was about 16 years old, but I've a lot of experience in some MLM companies. I sell insurance for a living. So fill in the blank. I'm always getting better at sales every day. And so point, aim, shoot. So I was taught this in MLM. It's not the leader's job to necessarily teach the entire platform to the person they're recruiting, or let me put it in insurance terms. It's not my job to teach the entire concept of insurance to my client. I just need to point them in the right direction, aim them at the best suggestion, and shoot the best I got. Send them paperwork, send them whatever, but that's it. And where I see a lot of salespeople get caught up is, especially in MLM, they think they have to teach hunger, they have to teach drive, they have to teach motivation. And yes and no, you can't control others, you can't make that light up in their brain. And so I just see a lot of people raising my hand because I'm the biggest offender of this is wasting time on stuff that's has nothing to do with you really. And so what this would look like in MLM, and Dana Barish, a very big leader in the company that I spent many years with, she's actually the one that taught me this. But her team is so large. If you have thousands of people on your team and every single one of them has a question, what's the ingredients of this product? There's the website, there's the ingredients. Let me know if you have any other questions. You don't necessarily have to memorize the answers to everything. You need to be a resourceful person. So that's what we're getting at. Be resourceful, use your resources, point, aim,
Aim,
shoot,
shoot.
and that's it. Don't get caught up in that in between. And you can obsess over some things, you can overanalyze some things, and you can't get that time back. So, as far as insurance, I work with dozens of carriers. I'm an independent broker. So, I could sit there and spend an hour with every carrier seeing if I can make this better, but I just have to trust that these top 2 or 3 options are, the best deal moving forward and things like that. So have a proper process. I'm not saying don't have a proper system that you follow so you're efficient, so you're, getting all your ducks in a row,
Yes.
but stop over analyzing in the in between. How can you be more resourceful? Point, aim, shoot. And a client will ask a question. If I'm working with them on a specific carrier, I'll send a link of that carrier explaining that coverage to them, and go over it with them. Or do you have any questions? And it just, people are able to answer their own questions. But when you are resourceful and teach others to be resourceful on your team, it just spreads the larger lesson of it. So, would you tell
Yes.
us about that larger lesson part of it?
So for me, when we were talking about this concept about point, aim, shoot, I've heard you talk about it. I've heard you explain it before in other meetings and other platforms. However, the one thing that I like to associate with point, aim, shoot is being precise.
Yeah.
One of the things that I'm seeing on Facebook, and it's starting to be, it's one of my little like annoyances. You know how I get when I just see these things that people just, they see one person doing it and then everybody else wants to do it and all this other stuff. And I look at it and I'm like, you're like missing the point. Here's what I mean. If you have a post with text that's more than 6 inches long, no one's going to read that. No one's going to read it.
Yeah.
That's just the truth. No one's going to read it. No one's going to spend the time to read it. People don't, it just seems so scattered. So for me, point, aim, shoot means point your target to your audience that you want to connect with, aim and shoot and be precise.
Hmm.
It's not point, aim, scatter,
Right.
right? When
That's
you
us
think
overcomplicating it again.
way overcomplicating it, right?
Yeah.
If you say point, aim, shoot, I think about an arrow, I think about shooting a rifle, I think about shooting a gun. And when you shoot the gun, how many bullets come out?
Yeah. Just one at a time.
Just one at a time. Do they scatter all over the place?
Yes. No, I'm sorry.
No, they do not. It's very precise. Pretty much where
Yeah.
you point, where you aim, where you shoot, that's where the bullet is going to go for the most part in that general vicinity.
Correct.
Don't overcomplicate it by scattering so much information all over the place that your point gets lost in the midst of the scatter.
Yeah. There's a time delay on these things. With most things, there's a time delay. If you don't act on it and do something with it, it just kind of dissipates or it loses its magic or it loses its fire. And people think, oh, I'll do that next week. I'll do that next year. I'll do that on January 1. Future
No.
you doesn't have any more time unless you today learns to get up off your butt and do it, right? So that's the only way future you's going to have a clue and have more time, like you keep assuming they will.
Yes.
So it's,
The other
yeah.
place I'm seeing this at quite a bit and a little bit more the more time I spend on this platform is the Clubhouse platform. The Clubhouse platform. Now, for those of you who don't know Clubhouse, it's basically a Zoom call without video, but you have an option to jump into different rooms based on topics that you're interested in. So when you're invited to speak, what I'm noticing is that people really want to lay out their story. When they ask people like, hey, tell us about your business, tell us about what you're working on, tell us about whatever it is that has to pertain with this topic, people really just want to lay out their whole story, like their life history.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait a sec, like, I done missed what your original question was. I don't even know what you need help with anymore. Because now you're like telling me about your aunt's cat who crawled up the chimney. And I'm what does that have
And
to
you
do
had a
with
dream
anything?
about it. Like, yeah.
Like, what does that have to do with anything?
Yeah.
And it's like the thing is that because there's a platform where you have the ability to voice your opinions and your thoughts, doesn't mean that it's okay to make it so drawn out. It's not about you. Get in, get your message out, and be done and move on.
Mhm.
Point, aim, shoot. Be precise, not
Mhm.
scattered all over the place.
And that's something we've worked a lot on with me is I don't have to have this one video have every lesson I ever want to teach, right? I don't have to teach it all. I could do a part 2. And so just kind of giving that freedom to myself to see what happens and if I need to do, a second part to that or add a series, I'll take the feedback and I'll do that. But holding myself back because I haven't like completed it, it's not it's not working the way it feels like. It's the term perfectionist procrastinator. That is what am I struggle to say, like, not that anymore, but yeah, I'm almost to the cusp where I don't struggle with this, but if I catch myself basically saying like, "Oh, I'll wait to do it until fill in the blank because it will be better then." If I tell myself that's a trigger, I'm procrastinating. It doesn't matter if I'm using professional excuses in my own brain with myself. I'm procrastinating. And so the problem is a lot of people in that zone think that they're actually in the perfectionism because they think they're feeding the thing they want and they're not. And so
No.
that's where it's just a trap where any immediate action is better than letting it marinate and see what happens, but it could dissolve, it could expire. And so don't let that happen.
Here's the way that you need to think about it. Think about that you're in an office building, you're getting ready to get into the elevator, you get in, and there's someone next to you. And this person next to you is the perfect person to help you grow and multiply your business. the perfect investor, the perfect business partner, the perfect whatever. And they ask you, pitch me your business in 90 seconds or less. Are you going to be able to convince this ideal partner, this ideal client, this ideal investor to invest in you and your business and what you're working on in less than 90 seconds? If the answer is no, you need to work on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what would impress the investor more, even if you did just wing it and go into it without hesitation, even if you fumbled over some words, even if you seemed a little nervous, that would be a lot more respectable than somebody who was kind of like, no, or just, I don't know, these copy and paste scripts we memorize. You got to have that authenticity because people can smell it and they can sense it.
Yes. Point, aim, shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Aim to point in the right direction. Aim for the proper target, and shoot to be precise.
Mm-hmm. There's 3 choices there. What's your point? Do you even want to aim? And are you ever going to actually shoot it? And so it's choice after choice after choice, but it starts a ripple. And this is another area where we've mastered using it in the negative way. When we get angry, when we get fired up, when we're on a mission,
Ooh.
you know how to point, aim, shoot. Let me tell you, because
You don't hold back.
Yeah, you don't hold back. You know that button you can press to get that reaction, and it's the unfortunate side of human beings and our free will, right? So you have mastered the point, aim, shoot. It's just flipping it and using the exact same formula you've been using a lot of your life for what you want.
Yes. It's important. This is critical.
Yeah.
Get used to being more precise.
Mm-hmm.
Get used to speaking in a way where you can relay your message in a confident manner, not a scattered place.
Mm-hmm.
If we're talking about business, if we're talking about whatever it is, I don't want to hear about your cat. I really don't. I want you to get to the point so we can move on, so I can decide if I can help you or not help you. So I can decide if I want to buy or don't want to buy.
Mm-hmm. Raise your hand if you've ever been turned off from purchasing something from someone because they just went on too long or too much. Like, it happens, I've heard you. Yeah. Anyway, like, guys, you got to be careful. But I do want to add, my
Breathe,
uncle added
Courtney.
this. I
Breathe.
know.
Breathe.
Through my nose, right?
Just breathe.
through your nose is
Relax.
better.
Point, aim, shoot, Courtney.
Yes. So my uncle added years ago, and I love this, and shoot straight. Tell the truth. Like, you guys, if y'all are so caught up in like, oh, what did I tell this person? And did I cut this deal? And stop it. If you just do the right thing, you don't have to remember any of that. You don't have to keep up with details that, you just trust that you did the right thing. So, and shoot straight. I do think that's worth adding.
Shoot straight. It is.
Yeah.
It's powerful stuff. When you go networking, do you make it about yourself or do you make it about the other person?
The other person. Yeah.
Mm.
Which, okay, here's a way to aim. Okay, so you know your point. You know you're going to walk up to him and talk to him. That's your shoot. So what's your aim? So you're like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to walk up and say. And so you start to get yourself all flustered and nervous, and notice it's all the inner talk in your head that took you from feeling okay to nervous. So ask curious questions. Just literally, this person, what are you truly curious to know? And don't ask about the weather, and don't ask about like the market. Like, there's just simple basic questions. Don't be that person. But ask curious questions. One that Elizabeth Gilbert, I saw an amazing speech on, but if you just ask someone, hey, what are you most excited about right now?
Oh, what a great question. Answer it, Courtney. What are you most excited about?
The opportunity ahead in 2021. I'm making big moves. So I'm excited.
What big moves are you making?
I am making big moves in my career. I am done with my practice year. That's what it felt like with 2020, was kind of figuring out the independent side of things, but I know what I want. I can see the path to get it, and it's a lot more achievable than I thought 6 months ago. So
I love it. How can I help you achieve that, or who can I connect you with?
Anyone who is not completely satisfied with their auto, home, life, or business insurance. But yeah, just stay connected with people. And Ricardo, you've connected me with many, but that's the beauty of our network, is we just keep connecting people and keep connecting people. And so that's why it's important to get involved in your community, whatever that means to you. You don't have to volunteer for things. You just can support a few small businesses, but you get your name out there as just someone who connects with people, and it's phenomenal what will happen.
I'll leave you with a final note. Kyle Wilson, he was Jim Rohn's business partner for 18 years and worked really closely with Jim Rohn, Brian Tracy, several of the big names out there in the self-development area. And he says that marketing and business, that it's all about just connecting the dots.
I love that. Hmm.
That's what the whole point is. If you can connect the dots, you're a master. You can get it done. The
Hmm.
person who can connect the dots most efficiently is the one who's going to end up winning.
Yeah, I love that because it's simple. There's not some whole big process. You're just making a connection. That's it.
Yeah. Just,
And if they reject that connection, okay.
there you
Like
go.
that's the other part of point aim shoot. Move on. Like next, like it's simple, it's fast. Ping, ping,
Yeah.
ping. What's behind that first bullet? A second bullet, another try. So just stop
Good
thinking
point.
failures are bad things. Failures are steps on your journey. Now, hopefully you don't repeat the same failure over and over. We've all had some lessons like that in our life, but
And if you do,
yeah,
just
move on.
shoot about 2 millimeters to the right, to the left, to the higher or lower.
Exactly.
There you go. All
Love that,
right.
2 millimeters. Yes.
Wonderful episode today. Point, aim, shoot. Comment below. Let us know your takeaways. What did you get from this episode? How can you be better at aiming, pointing, and shooting? Can you concise that message into one single shot versus just scattering all over the place? Do you have your 90-second elevator speech? It's all important.
Yeah.
It's all important. Get in there, be the person that goes, takes care of business, and gets out.
Hmm.
Drop the bomb.
Elvis has left the building, right? They're
Yes,
still
yes.
screaming for him, but he's not there. That's what you need to learn how to create.
Oh, you know what? Talking about dropping the bomb, be the guy that when the building blows up, you're just casually walking away knowing that you just rocked it and that you just blew it up.
Yes.
Don't be the guy or lady that second guesses themselves and looks back to make sure that it's there or that it's blown up. Walk away, hit the detonator button, and just be like, boom,
Yep.
I rocked it.
And in those movies, are they running away scared? Well, that's not a good example, but when it's the hero that blows it up, it's the end of the movie. They are calm and confident when they're walking away.
Yes.
So I don't know what you have to do to get confident in this area in your life that you're thinking about as we're talking about this, but you need to do it. It's important.
Yes. It's all about point, aim, shoot.
Yes.
Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll be back tomorrow for another Five for Girls episode and live on Friday.
Yes. Thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye.